Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of the XP Zone. We had a great first episode launch. We're excited to be back today. I've got my boy. This is my longtime boy.
E squared.
E squared. We got E squared together. My man, Ethan Meredith. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm tired from work, but hey, it's part of it.
You did have to work today.
I did,
Got off
sadly.
at 12.
Yeah, and it was like 8:30 to 12. I woke up at like 8:26 this morning and had to get to work. Got there like 2 minutes late.
Do y'all open at 8:30?
No, we open at 9. We had to get there 30 minutes early.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, but still.
Were they mad?
No, they didn't care.
Respect.
They had all just gotten there too.
Interesting. Well, today we got so many awesome topics that we're going to talk about today. So if you guys enjoy the episode, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us comment down below. Give us an idea of some more things you want to see in the future episodes. Without further ado, though, let's dive into this episode. Ethan, we've been friends for a while.
Since college,
Since,
beginning of college.
Beginning of college.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you emphasize that. Cause
Yeah, that is true.
I've been friends with Cameron Moore since college. But Cameron and I became friends at the end of my college run.
Yeah, that's
Beginning
true.
of his. I mean, literally like
First freshman
days.
year,
Opening
our
days.
entire group just formed, and ever since then,
You kind of give us an explanation. I can help out too. How our friend group met.
okay.
Because it's so funny.
It is really funny how our group met. So there was a group of people that were all playing Super Smash Bros. Out in the lobby. I thought that's how I was introduced to everyone. I don't know
That's how I came in.
for y'all. Okay.
'Cause I was like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, because we were all just chilling out in the lobby playing Smash Bros. And it was just like, okay. And then eventually, every single one of our friends from our friend group just decided to come out and play, and we all just stuck together after that.
I mean, literally, a public switch, and anyone can come play. It's not like it's
Yeah.
one guy and we've been getting invited, slow over time. I mean, it's literally just like one after another. These faces start showing up, and then they showed up again the next time. They never went away.
It wasn't even just like the next night. It was like, oh, okay, we're gonna get there like right after class. Oh, let's go. Everyone went and ate lunch with everyone you were kind of close with at the time, and then at night, right before you had to try and go to bed to go to class, it was like, oh well, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it
Yeah.
again.
And then it started turning into, instead of we all go separate ways, eat lunch, then come back, like, y'all want to go get lunch and then come right back?
Yeah, exactly.
And then we go eat lunch, come right back. And that's how, I mean, it was Nathan at that time, Remy, Andrew,
Tristan,
you, me.
Noah was kind of
Noah really came around after Christmas.
but
Like,
he
Noah was
there.
around and he was there, but like Noah became in our friend group Noah after Christmas.
Yeah, which that was also when him and Cash and Nathan and Tate were all living together.
Yeah.
That was an entertaining group to go. Oh my gosh.
That's literally like people that, at least in our style of Williams life, staple people. Now, I know some of these people like kind of fell through. We don't talk to them anymore, or kind of just went our separate ways. But like
Yeah.
for a period of time, staple people.
I mean, yeah, for a long time that was the people we knew. And then of course there was like additions throughout the years,
Yeah.
and people
We had some part timers.
Yeah, we definitely had some
We
part-timers.
had some part timers to the friend group. People
And then
that,
we
like
had
Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter was
Hunter was
there
a good
for
part timer though. We enjoyed being around Hunter.
Hunter was hilarious.
He
Dude.
was funny. He'd be there at the most random moments. Honestly, I feel like he was part timing at our worst.
That was definitely when our friend group was having, I don't know what was going on with our friend group at that time, but we had
Growing
that.
pains.
Henry was there. I
Henry.
forgot to mention Henry.
Well, see, the only reason though, and I'm just gonna be blunt, this is no shot to Henry at all. So if you're watching Henry, we love you. But it's just we have a different schedule now. To where, like a few of us have kind of stayed pretty tight every day talking, and if we're not, we know where each other are at.
Yeah, because
And then some of us have kind of split off.
you, me, and Tristan all live 30 minutes from each other. So I mean, if it's ever a hey, you want to go do something,
And then we go to church together, and then Tristan and Remy are on Discord more throughout the day together. So it's like we're always all together in some way, shape, or form. And then you have moments like last night, we're all talking on Discord, having a blast.
bro. Last night was something else. I swear, Remy and Tristan kill me just because of the stupidity revolving around League of Legends.
Oh, y'all played when I got off?
Not last night, but the night before.
Oh, 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago, we played League. Normally, we've been ending the night playing League. Like, we'll play like 1 or 2 ARAMs. And by the end of it, one of us is annoyed and decides to just quit. So
That's sometimes how it's gotten whenever I play Call of Duty with the Call of Duty squad. Like, you'll have like those 1 or 2. We're either playing 8s or we're playing ranked. And when they get off, it's just like, so-and-so left. Like, you don't, there's no like, all right, guys, I'm going to get off. They just leave.
Yeah.
They're gone. It's like, oh, I guess the night's over.
We'll at least like say something. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, I guess I'm done. But there's also some other stuff like
we'll say things with maybe sometimes some choice words might be used of just,
oh,
get that out of here. We're not playing this game anymore. I'm done.
or it's 5 minutes into the game. Yeah, we're
GG.
cooked.
GG.
It's over.
GG go next.
It's over. ARAM is so stupid because it's like team comp. If you don't get the right champs, you're done.
That's true. And it's just, but it's quick.
Yeah, it's
Get over with.
15-minute, 20-minute games, and you're done.
Compared to 45. Which, we're talking about League. And I kind of gave you this heads up. But the story of our college stories, the whole idea is like, not as much like, what should we talk about? It's more like, what should we not talk about?
Yeah, no joke.
What should we not bring up?
There was a couple of stuff we brought up beforehand that was like, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not our best moment. But one night that I for sure wanted to talk about.
Oh, gosh. Now I'm scared.
And I can't. This is how crazy it was because it was we were about to go home for COVID.
Oh, okay.
That period of time.
That was the best time. It was a Wild West there.
Like the context of it was like people at Williams, we were smart. We put 2 and 2 together. We put the pieces together. And we knew when we went home for spring break, we all had like that good feeling we're not coming back. You're hearing about like the NBA's canceled their season. Other schools are already like getting dismissed before spring break. But we knew like, yeah, we're not coming back. They kept saying like, we're going to try to come back.
Yeah.
We knew we weren't coming back.
Which also for the men's dorm, we didn't have a residence director.
Yeah. So like we had a residence director. He left to take another job and left in the middle of the year.
Yep.
Then the second in command, the ARD, assistant residence director, he was a teacher. So Corbett was doing all this teaching stuff. He's never there. Because he's doing that teaching internship and playing baseball.
Yeah, he was busy, especially last semester.
And he was engaged.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all these factors into one. And it was the wild, wild west. Because 1, we didn't have any authority. 2, we all knew we were going home. So, like, we knew it a little too early. So, like, I know I skipped the last, like, 6 days of class.
I actually went to class because my professors made me afraid of them. So,
yeah, you had the business department
already.
Business
professors, and
you had them that time, second semester or second semester?
I had them first semester because
wow.
So I'd already taken some classes in high school. So I was already a little bit ahead.
Guy.
What is that supposed to mean?
I wasn't smart enough to do a lot of them.
Oh, okay. I will leave my comment to myself then.
Fair point. But we had the Wild West.
That's understatement, but definitely.
Now, with where we're at in life, we can't say as much to where there's probably some things we really cannot say, especially with other circumstances and moving parts in our lives. But the specific night that we've got to talk about is the night Henry almost burned this place to the ground.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that night.
So we're sitting in here in our room.
Movie nights were a big thing.
Essentially we had a lot of movie nights. We tried out the mega suite where we had our multiple beds, one room in the suite. The other side was a huge game room. It didn't work, but we still were like very friendly when we switched it out.
We tried it 2 different years and neither worked.
Yeah, you want to know how smart I am?
You was the one that left. I was stuck in it.
No, you want to know how genius I am? I've never shared this publicly. This is a first time ever. That's the first time you're hearing this. I manipulated all of you.
I hate you.
You don't even know what I'm saying.
I just hear that and I say, nope, okay.
So we had the 4 beds, and I hated it. I hated it because we had a roommate who just really didn't have the same standard of organization that I would have liked to have. And I still wasn't even as organized as Andrew. And so I start talking to Andrew, and I'm like, Andrew, like, have you noticed that what he left there? I'm not gonna immediately drop the name, but if you know, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, did you know that he just left that out? He was like, yeah, he did. I'm like,
So you was the one that
dude,
caused all that.
I'm like, this is a huge problem. I'm like, Andrew, have you ever considered like splitting back? He's like, actually, I have. And then I talked to him in a way, it's his idea. So then
Of course you did.
you don't even remember it probably as much. I hit you. I'm like, I'm starting to put things in your head. And I'm like, hey, like maybe it's essentially the whole point I did with all the 3 other members was like, I made them kind of feel like they came up with the idea.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in their head.
I do
Because
remember.
whenever we did it, I'll never forget, we met in the middle of the room and we were like, should we do this? Like, should we split up and your bed's here, bed's here? And it was a 100% unanimous agreement.
It was at the end of the day.
And
Which, I mean,
it would have been an issue if I wasn't preparing for it.
Yeah, it could have been an issue. But also at the end of the day, it was just like, I know.
It was too much.
You definitely manipulated it to it, which I was happy with at the very end of it.
Yeah, everyone was happy. They just didn't know that I was kind of the mastermind.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of thinking we were all on the same page. Well, I put us on the same page. I opened the book and got us there.
Ingenious.
It happened. But we split up to get back to that story.
Bro.
We still would come over and do everything in each other's room. And so we would, that specific nights, we're playing Until Dawn.
Oh, yes, it was Until Dawn.
We're on the PlayStation. We're playing Until Dawn.
Yeah.
We're all going to stay up all night and play through the game and make all the decisions we make.
Bro.
And to emphasize back on what Ethan was talking about, the Wild West, we did not have an ARD present. The RA we had, who I'm not going to share in case this ever got him in trouble, really let us off the hook a lot.
We were also freshmen.
We didn't have a residence director, and we decided to push our limits. At Williams, you cannot have microwave. You can't have candles. You can't have a lot of things. And we had everything. We didn't have a microwave.
No, but we had which I mean, you could have a coffee machine, stuff like that. But we had candles. Like candles was our biggest thing.
We had a lot of candles.
Well, a lot of us were freshman guys. You know, you kind of need something.
Yeah. I mean, I had roomed with my brother when he was at a young enough age where he didn't have too much BO at the time. So then by the time I moved out in my own room, he got, I guess, there. But then you're just by yourself. Yeah, I just wasn't around it as much.
You maintain yourself. You know?
I'm like, Lord have mercy. Right. I'd walk in, it'd be like sometimes a wall.
It would hit you in the face.
Now, we did have one roommate that really wasn't most helpful with it. And no, if you ever watch this, don't care. No offense. But it's just what it was. And anyways, we had candles.
Yeah.
Candles. I had a candle next to my bed. I had a candle on my gaming desk. You had a candle on your gaming desk for sure.
I did. It was on the top part because that was whenever I used to have
that upper level.
The upper level. No, I didn't have a TV on there. That was where I kept all my books.
Oh yeah, I had the TV up there. Because I didn't have a PC yet. Yeah,
you was still playing on Xbox at that time.
I had a monitor and the upper level, and then Andrew for show had candles. I don't know if Nathan had candles. I probably not, but we all did. And
I don't remember.
100% got us in trouble. Almost a couple times. Like one time, somebody almost saw us have them.
Yeah, because we'd put them up whenever we had room checks.
Yeah, we'd hide them and stuff. Whole point in case. We're sitting there playing Until Dawn. This is probably the most chaotic 45 seconds of my life. And Henry, we love you, Henry. But we teased him about this all through college.
And still to this day, obviously.
He took a piece of paper. He just crumbles it up. Almost like, I don't know what you could describe it as. He just crumbles it up.
He just got a piece of paper and twisted it.
That's the right word.
He twisted it and then just goes,
walks up to the candle, lights the piece of paper on fire, and it's just like watching it burn. Smoke is rising.
Bro.
And it was a thick piece of paper. It wasn't like just a little twibble thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like... It's going to catch fire. We can put it out, but the smoke...
That was the problem, for sure.
Because one, we didn't want the smoke alarms to go off. Because we didn't want all this unnecessary attention brought to our room. Because we also... The thing that we added to the Wild Wild West part is I'll confess to this. You keep your mouth shut because of how your life may play out. I would break into people's rooms that I knew. That I didn't know them.
Yeah.
But it would be like all right, now how well do you know them? 50-50.
I know of them.
But if they were gone for the weekend, I'd break into their room and this is so bad. And I would assess their furniture and be like, is their desk better than mine? And if it was, I would switch it out. And I would do it almost perfectly to where like
Yeah, you did.
I'd put
do
all their
that
stuff
a
on the
lot.
bed. I would take their desk out, take all my stuff out of my desk. I only did this to one desk. But I kind of also did it to bed frames and pillows.
Which
Not
I mean,
pillows, the beds,
the bed mattress. Yeah.
the mattresses. And then I'd put my desk in, put all their stuff back in perfectly, how they had it. Sometimes I take a picture. By sometimes, I mean the one time I did it. I'm not sharing whose room it was. I did it. Actually, yeah, I will. Because this was before they moved in. Oh, yeah, never mind. This is not as bad as I was making it sound. It was Zach and Noah's room.
Oh,
I just didn't know that was theirs yet.
that's actually hilarious because that was like when
They were
we were
right
all
across the
moving
hall.
back in.
They were right across the hall, and then I came back early.
Yeah, you did.
So I took Zach's desk. So sorry, Zach. But he already had he had stuff there.
Yeah, because
He went home.
he was a sports guy, so he was there early.
He didn't play sports.
Did he not? I thought he did.
So it was Zach's desk. I'll confess that. My timing's just off. I don't remember when I did it. But anyways, I did
It must have been over a weekend because
We had a lot of things. We didn't want people to find out we took. We took other things I'm not going to share. For sure. Chairs. We did a lot of switching around in
chair
chairs.
switches. Yes.
But Henry has set this piece of paper on fire. The smoke is going up the smoke to the smoke detector. And he stares at it. And we're all like, Henry,
What are you doing?
So we are scrambling because it was a
Bro,
large
it was-
flame.
It was huge, and the fact that he was just standing there, and it wasn't okay. Here's the worst part about it from our perspective.
Yeah.
The candle that he went and used was right by the TV that we was watching play, like when we were playing the game.
Yeah.
And he just walks up to it. It's in the window. He just grabs the paper, puts it in there, just stares at it right in front of the window, like turns around and looks at us and is doing it. And at first something was happening in the game. This is from my perspective. I was focused on the game and I see a glint out of the corner of my eye. And then I hear everyone else panicking and I'm like, wait, what's going on? Like, oh, that's just a light. Next thing I know, I see a flame and I see smoke. And then Remy is running to the other room already by the time that it processes for me.
And that's when he hit the sugar.
Bro, the sugar.
He had a glass container full of sugar for his coffee, and he hip checks the sugar, breaks and shatters.
We had sugar in
Comes
that
running in
room
with a
for
fan,
2 weeks.
Plugs in the box fan. I'm opening the window. No, someone else opened the window. I took it from Henry, threw it in the candle thing, put the lid on.
I think I opened the window.
You opened the window. We're blowing the smoke out. We're like,
That was.
I'm like grabbing his shoulders, like shaking him, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing? I watched him walk up there, and I'm like, what is he doing? And then I see him with the piece of paper, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way he's about to do what I think he's about to do. And then he does it.
You got more of a front row seat to the chaos than I did.
You had the controller at the time.
Yeah, that's
Until
right.
Dawn's a one-player game, so we were all
Okay.
sitting there making decisions on like it's a
Yeah.
decision-based game, and we were all like voting on what decision we should make. We were taking turns playing. You had the controller at the time.
That's what was going on.
I'm on Andrew's bed because mine was the one left to the TV in that corner. We're sitting
Mine,
here,
mine
window-
was to the right. Yours was to the
no,
left.
yours was up already. We had already switched back.
Oh, that was that point. Okay, sorry, my brain's all over the place.
So like, all that stuff's here. 'Cause
Oh, okay,
remember-
yeah.
Remember, my monitor was gaming setup was here.
Yeah,
But Nathan
okay.
brought that table in there or that
Mhm.
TV stand,
And then
put
we brought the
TV on.
giant TV in there. Okay. Okay.
I'll never forget that night.
There is parts of that night that I chose to forget.
It was like the sugar.
That is not a part I forgot. Because I have never seen Remy in such disarray until that moment.
Because it was just people running everywhere, people screaming. I'm like, picture like in the cartoons, like wake somebody up or like snap them back in. You're like
Yeah.
slapping them in the face. I'm like, what are you doing, Henry? What are you doing?
What made okay? Also, context for the sugar. Remy had just bought that sugar that day. Like we had just
even
gotten
worse.
back from Walmart to get that sugar. I don't know if you knew about that, but me,
know he
Remy,
bothered.
and Nathan had just gotten back from Walmart, And he had put the sugar in there like an hour or two before this all happened.
It was insane. Craziest night.
Oh, bro.
But dude, our squad was on campus. Like we were.
For the longest
I didn't
time.
think about it in the moment. Like in the moment, I just thought, like we're just doing our thing. But when we left, my sister told me how like a lot of her friends were like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of weird not seeing their friend group at the. We ate around the same area
Yeah.
all the time,
Traditionally.
and we were always together. And it was just something where a lot of people were like,
Where'd it go?
"Hey, they're gone. Like this is kind of weird." And I didn't think about it as potentially being that consistent in the moment. But like our friend group,
Yeah, I didn't think that our friend group
we
was
sent
like
a couple
that.
out. We brought
big.
a couple in. We sent a couple out, but we had a consistent 6-ish.
Yeah. I mean, like you would consistently see one or like 2 or 3 of us together.
Yeah, like we didn't always have all 6
Yeah.
together. Like I would eat sometimes here. You sometimes eat with the praise band group.
Yeah, I was there.
Remy just wouldn't be there.
Remy would just be playing games. Remy would be playing Elden Ring.
Sometimes Tristan would come at different times.
Well, Tristan also, his sleep schedule was
It
that
was
of
pretty bad in college.
of some nocturnal animal. I don't know
It
what
was
to.
pretty bad. But we had a lot of fun memories in college. A lot of late nights, 2 a.m. McDonald's runs.
I was about to mention that. Those were good.
Those were good.
Okay, I will say my favorite moment from college, freshman year, a lot of great things. Believe this was either our junior year or senior year, the night that you had a 24-hour stream, and me and Remy get locked out of our room because we're living over at Nicholas at the time. And for those that don't know about Nicholas, they have like this lobby area where everyone can come hang out, but it's blocked off by a key scanner.
You gotta have your key fob
The power went out
because of
ice.
we had an ice storm hit the night I decided to do a 24-hour stream.
Yeah,
And it was like a spontaneous 24-hour stream. Like I was streaming, I just made some random joke. Like I think it was 100 followers.
yeah, it was
I was
something.
like, if
You
I hit
hit it.
100 followers tonight, I will not go to bed and I will stay up and stream. And 24 hours, and we did. And so I'm streaming, power goes out. I go handheld,
Yeah, you was IRL stream.
and I'm live on my phone. We're exploring the icy tundra. It is like almost like a
Wow.
movie. Like you got thick snow on top of the thick ice.
Yeah,
The snow is like blowing hard through the wind. You can't really see. You couldn't see
Driving.
the chapel from Butler. That's how bad it
no,
was.
yeah, you couldn't see anything, and
my
Glenn
dumb
decided to drive through
I
it.
hop in the car, can't unfrost my windows clearly. Noah walks over, he hops in. I'm sticking my head out the window, driving down the road. I'm not even pushing the gas. We're just sliding. We're just sliding, and I'm turning, not even pressing the brake as
Bro.
much. And then we pull up to y'all's place. I'm like, y'all come out here. Y'all come out there with no shoes, no socks, shorts and t-shirt. Lock yourself out.
Yep, because context was me and Remy was just gonna go for some reason. Me and Remy was like, yeah, let's run out into the lobby and see if the lights are off anywhere else. And so we met in the hallway. We opened the door to go into that lobby, and I luckily had my wallet and my phone on me, but we hear the door close behind us, and it processed right
And
as
it's like, oh no.
the door closed. We're like, wait a second, that's locked.
I'm
we
sure
can't
Remy
get
did
back
not
in.
say a good word in that moment.
Remy actually didn't say anything like bad.
He controlled his emotions.
He did. We just both looked at ourselves and we go, huh, that just happened. I have 2 different videos on my phone of us trying to like open the door with credit cards. It did not work.
But then y'all hopped in the car. We are just trying to stay warm. We eventually bust into the Cash Wilson because the front door. 'Cause that process in my head too. I was like, we're locked out too now.
Yeah,
I didn't think
luckily,
about that until y'all said that happened to you. I was like, we can't get back into Butler. Well, Cash Wilson, we all knew if you really yank.
well, no, we actually went through Noah's. Noah was ARD at that time,
Oh, we had the key to that door.
and he had his back door, so
That's
we
how
went
we
through
got it.
Noah's.
And then we all fell asleep in the Cash Wilson lobby.
No, you didn't. You left me and Remy. Me and Remy passed out on the couches.
They fell asleep and I left and fell asleep elsewhere.
You somehow got back to your own room.
It was on my couch.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on my couch. Did I turn the stream back on after?
No, you never did. You turned it off on your way there.
I never finished the 24-hour stream.
Nope, you never finished a 24-hour stream. Technically, I am the only one that has finished a 24-hour stream.
The archives are lost. You gotta be there now.
I guess so.
Well, we in college we had a lot of fun memories. Obviously, some we're still choosing not to share. And but one thing that united all of us was two things, and we'll talk about the first thing and then go ahead and kick off into the second thing.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Gaming and our traveling love for travel. Tell us about the trip.
The
Ethan
trip.
took the trip, and I've got to hear about it. Tell us.
Okay.
You got to give the introduction though. These people don't know
Yeah,
what
that
trip
is
you went
true.
on.
So, not February. I keep wanting to say February every time. So in March, lifelong trip that I've always wanted to take was going to Japan. So, went by myself. Flown for the first time. Went internationally for the first time. Just everything, and decided to go on a
First time by
nine.
yourself.
Yeah, first everything. Like it was so much stuff with that. But yeah, I went to Japan for 9 days. Let's see. Went to Tokyo. Went to a place called Hakone, which is right there by Mount Fuji. And that was really cool.
Oh, I bet it was pretty.
And then went to Kyoto for a couple of days. So that was a lot of fun. Bro.
How pretty was it? Especially the nature side of Japan. You only think of most of the time Tokyo.
Yeah, you mostly. Well, if you're really looking into it, you'll think of
You know
Kyoto.
more, yeah.
But
A basic human thinks Tokyo, Japan.
yeah,
I
you think
of anime
that.
and big city.
The huge city was amazing. Like that was the biggest city that I've ever been in. The biggest one I think I've ever crossed through was maybe Dallas.
Is Dallas as big as Tokyo?
No, not even close.
Oh, okay. You're talking about like before that moment.
Yeah, before that moment,
Yeah,
the
that's-
biggest one
I
I've been
thought
to was
Tokyo bigger
Dallas.
than Dallas.
So yeah, it was beautiful. Like the amount of things that I got to see that I never thought I'd ever get to experience was amazing. The people there, all extremely nice. Like I could walk up and be confused, not even know what's going on. They would notice and they would talk to you and try and figure out how to help. Like there was just so much stuff. And no matter what, even if they didn't understand English too much, they would try. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
That's cool, dude. We're gonna go back someday. You're gonna go back, and I'm gonna go with you.
I am definitely going back. It
I
is
wanna go
not
so
a
bad.
it is not a win, it is or not a will, it is a win.
That's true.
So
So we love to travel. Our friend group loves to travel. We took many trips. I'm gonna save this story. I'm gonna say it. Sorry, podcast. You're gonna have to request Ethan to come back to get the story because we're about to move into the next portion of the podcast. But the camping story.
oh my gosh.
We love to travel, and that's your teaser. That's your moment. Make
Yep.
him come back.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the camping story.
If y'all want to hear about it, ask to have me back and I'll come back and
But
we'll talk about it.
gaming was what united us.
Oh,
It was
overall.
at Smash Bros.
essentially.
And then once we started playing Smash Bros, we started playing games together.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of Xboxes. You had a computer.
I think
Tristan had a computer.
me and
We're
Tristan
the only ones.
were the two that kind of sparked everyone getting computers.
And then we all got PCs.
yeah,
And that's what really kicked it off. So
really.
gaming was obviously that peak moment of a lot of our memories and moments. Like we have moments that we probably couldn't even remember. But they were so good in the moment.
Yeah.
Playing this game at 1:30 at night, doing whatever we did. So obviously it's a big portion.
One example, going to your parents' place, and we all had the IR
Yeah.
LAN
That was
gaming
during
night.
COVID.
Yeah, that was the summer of COVID.
During lockdown, they all snuck out of lockdown, and my parents were out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was a planned thing. We are responsible people.
Yes.
But they all came over. We set up our PCs in my
Bro,
house,
that was
and we just gamed.
League
all
of
night
Legends for almost like 12 hours straight.
long. I know. That was probably the most fun I've ever had playing League. I was still so bad at the time. I didn't know I was getting curb stomped.
Yeah, I think that was when all of us were really bad at the game. We just kind of was enjoying the fact that we got to play something.
Yeah, together, IRL. It was on LAN.
Yeah, it was a
We
lot
were
of
on
fun.
LAN. Played on LAN.
Officially, I can say I've played one LAN competition between my friends.
I played too.
Yes, you have.
That's a Noah story though. Noah
That
has to be here
is-
for that because that has its own story.
That there is so many stories that I got to hear
we
about.
gotta
that.
get Noah on the podcast.
We gotta get Noah back over here.
We gotta get him back over here. Noah, if you're seeing this,
I
we
miss
say
you.
this out of respect and love. I still wish y'all would come over here.
I miss you.
We'd house you. Anyways, gaming was our general principle. It's huge. It's something that united us. So, kind of like the idea of this podcast that we like to do. It's just like, what is your gaming story? I like to go with our guests, see each of the gaming stories they have, their journey, start with us. When did you start getting into video games? When did gaming become something to you?
So I actually have two levels to that. So my parents have always played video games. My mom and my dad would always play like Resident Evil.
Shout
Mom,
out to Calvin and Brandy.
they're so great. They kind of like they will, I will say, segmented me into it in one way, like to start it. Um, so it was fun watching. Like Dad would play Resident Evil. Mom loved the puzzle aspect of the game before it became more of a horror game. And so like we watched them do that. Mario Kart on the Nintendo 64, all that stuff, you know. So I got to do all that. But the thing that kind of like segmented me into the gaming that I experience now was I was probably like 14, and there was a family friend at the time was playing Halo Reach.
Halo Reach.
Halo Reach.
We just played through it.
Yeah, and we did. We're going through all the Halo games. So Halo is what really like sparked me into the playing the games that I play now. So that's kind of like why my love for Halo is so much. But yeah, so I've played Halo Reach, got an Xbox right after that, and here we are now. Really,
Mega gamer, but also mega FPS enjoyer.
massive.
You like, I think that's kind of what you were implying when you got into the Halo style like FPS games.
Yeah, FPS. Yeah,
You are an FPS guru.
I will. If there's anything that I play, it's FPS games. Like I will obviously go and play Pokemon, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Pokemon, I think, is probably one of the most like chill games that I have right now.
it's
That
consistent.
in my lifetime that I've loved. I mean, heck, I went to Japan and got to go to the Pokemon Center in Tokyo.
You did.
So, I mean, that was a blast and getting to see that. But overall, like what I play now is FPS games. Like that's just kind of what I do.
And you're good at it.
The semi.
You might not give yourself as much gas, but like you're, other than one, maybe two, other than two FPS games, you're better than me at every FPS game.
Well, Call of Duty is not my style.
Well, I got
It's
you in
too
Halo
fast.
too.
Yeah, you got me in Halo because you actually play competitive Halo.
I would argue that I'm still at this moment a better Halo player than I am Call of Duty, but I enjoy Call of Duty more.
It's understandable. I mean, I feel like overall, for you, so like that's the entire thing I don't do well with is spawn locations and stuff like that. The FPS games that I play are more like Siege, CS:GO, Valorant.
Round based.
Yeah, it's round based. It's not it's ever changing.
Also,
Well,
mine
not
are all
ever-changing.
controller based. Yours
Yeah.
are all mouse and keyboard based.
That is true. So, but yeah, that's FPS games are really like what I have right now. But
So of all the ones, let's split this up for you then, because you have your separate, and then you have your FPS love, right?
yeah,
And you can put in any factor that you want to make this decision. But one, give me your greatest game of all time, and then two, give me your greatest FPS game of all time.
okay.
Because I just have a feeling that the FPS game is not going to be the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, I'll have to say like greatest game of all time. No, it's definitely not.
But give me both.
I'll just start with the FPS game because you know like that's just kind of an easy answer to me, which is Siege. I know it's been getting a lot of hate recently, and a lot of trash talk recently, but overall,
All of them get trash talk.
I mean, yeah, they all do, but I mean, more so, I feel like Siege has been getting a lot recently, but and that's just because Ubisoft, but
I hate Ubisoft.
everyone hates Ubisoft. But yeah, Siege is a puzzle. And that's the entire thing with Siege that I love is the fact that everything changes throughout a round. You have 5 operators you can pick. You have heck 8 to 10 different maps in ranked play, and every map has a completely different style to play. Every time you bring 5 different characters, operators, whatever.
Yeah.
It's ever changing, and that's what I love about it for Siege. So that's my FPS game.
Fair.
Now, if I had to say overall favorite game of all time,
You can include, if you want, but just make sure you preface this. It can be your favorite game of all time, or yeah, put your favorite game of all time, and then we'll kind of see what we think might be non-favorite, just the greatest game of all time.
okay.
We'll throw that out there too, because that's a really cool thing to talk about.
I will say, like story wise, the amount of hours that I've put into the game before like I got invested into FPS games, Pokemon Black and White
That's a good one.
is probably one of my
That's a good
favorite
one.
games of all time. I could argue Halo Reach just because of the story. I could argue Minecraft. I could argue there's a lot of games I could argue, but if I just sat down and thought about it, probably Black and White Pokemon was probably my favorite game of all time.
And it's amazing because Black and White and then Black 2 and White 2 are not only probably respectfully some of the top Pokemon games ever made, but then they're a perfect sequel.
Yes.
Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, not a great perfect sequel in my opinion. I still feel like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon was better than Sun and Moon, but I just felt like the flow, and this honestly could just be a lack of memory because I didn't focus on when I was playing so much. I feel like their story didn't just flow perfectly, to where Black 2 and White 2, I just played it recently. I mean, it is like first 30 seconds recaps the first game.
Yeah, it does.
Like this takes place this many years after the In Castle experiments, Team Plasma, which was an amazing story.
Genuinely, there was so much that happened in that story,
and then they just add on to it more.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like your rival in it is supposed to be like in the first one, not the second one.
Yeah,
he is like you get this grand introduction to him in the intro, like when you're opening the game. Yeah. And you're like, okay, so maybe I get to play as this guy. No, that's your rival. Like he is the man of the hour for that entire game.
And then the friends of the main character in the first one, Sharon and Bianca, become major characters in the second story.
Yes.
Bianca becomes like the next professor. Sharon's a gym leader.
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot
that was so cool for me personally. And then like you can go back. You start off in a different town in the second game.
Yeah.
You go back to the OG town.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of it? Oh my god. We're setting ourselves up for failure.
We are, because I don't remember.
I've been studying a lot of the first name towns, like Newbark.
You would ask me this question, and I would forget right off the top of my
Little
head.
Root was in Sinnoh.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we'll have to think of it differently. But the whole point of it, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
it was Zekrom or Reshiram?
Zekrom.
I was too. I played White.
Who does not want to have a dragon that just controls lightning and his tail just turns blue?
Electric dragon. That's also a typing you never really see. We've seen fire dragon type.
I will say, like, for typing wise, my favorite was Kyurem Black, just because I was ice dragon still, but it had electric type moves. And its abilities, then cooked.
I would say, let me think about I want to throw my favorite because it's very similar. My favorite is a game I think we both share enjoyment for. We played it with each other not too long ago.
Okay.
Transformers Fall of Cybertron.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
That game is beautiful.
That is a very beautiful game. And there is so much lore, so much everything with that game. Is so good.
War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron were beautiful. And that's why when I watched Transformers 1, I was like, this movie slaps. Because
I still haven't watched it.
You got to see it. It was that game. You could literally, like, I'm not saying they actually connected it, but everything was so good in my opinion, you could. Like, it was so Cybertron focused, kind of like how it detailed the upper level of the planet, like the surface level of the planet, because a lot of their planets, some of them are surface, some of them are underground.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just like so good and so connected. It almost felt like it was part of that storyline. Like think of it. That's how I'm just treating it. They're not gonna make it with the live action. Obviously, they're separate.
Yeah.
So I'm treating it until they tell me otherwise as a prequel to War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron.
Hey, I'll take that.
And it was beautiful. It was absolutely amazing.
I think I'm gonna have to go watch it tomorrow. So
go watch it tomorrow. It is 100%.
That is something I'll be doing.
But we like that Transformers game. And that's probably my favorite. That or God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok's a pretty good game.
I actually have not played the God of War games. I played the original one that was on the PSP that you can play on those, but I've not played any of the new ones. I've watched people play them.
Here's my take with it. You want to hear it?
Okay.
The OG ones are rich in story.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they have lore, Greek gods, rich in story. Pulls you in. but I think the gameplay is not as good as the new ones. Well, the new ones are not. That one really just emphasized a lot of lore of like the overall Greek gods, the originals.
Yeah,
I mean,
that did.
you're getting to see all of them left and right. You hear the story of Kratos. He was, got crazy, betrayed by uh, the first god of war, is Ares.
Yep, Ares.
Kills his family, serves him, then kills him, takes over, all those different things. Goes on a vengeful tour. Well, that one had great story, lore, but the gameplay was okay. It was fun, but like just more like arcadey.
Well, I mean, the time frame also, but yeah, I agree with
Then they
that.
added the open world factor.
Mm-hmm.
And in the newer ones, God of War and God of War Ragnarok, they didn't focus on as much of like they brought in lore of the Norse
Yeah,
mythology.
which I will say with this, I love the fact that they went in and made Norse as dark as it actually is, compared to like what we've been so used to seeing with Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel Thor and God of War Thor are two different. Which is God of War Thor, appropriate Norse mythology Thor.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
what you're meaning. Those two are totally different.
Exactly. They're polar
Oh,
opposites.
I'm gonna throw my hammer around. Let's go save the world. Or drunken guy who will just get drunk and rage kill everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how Thor is in that game. And so, but it was awesome, dude. Like the first one, just you don't see this as much, but it emphasizes so much on like father son,
Yeah, it
and like
does.
you get to take. It's kind of like I mean, I honestly would argue that these two are just perfect because of how well they play off the first three. So different. Like the first one, Kratos is just a massacring maniac, vengeful. Like he, it's written as he's the bad guy. You're playing as the bad guy because he's going
Yeah.
for revenge to where it's so far into revenge. He's like destroying Greece. He destroys Greece in the third game.
Yeah, he does. At the end of it, it's
That's
just
how far he goes in revenge. And then to see him become a dad. And he tries to be
yeah.
a good dad. Like right his wrongs. Help his son not make mistakes. It's a pretty touching story.
It
I got
actually
emotional.
is. I
And I don't get emotional often.
It is really good. Like I said, I've not played it. I've watched the story of it, and I've loved everything that I've gotten to see watching it. The only thing I'm really hoping with God of War is we get to see the in between stages.
I feel like they'll do something about it.
I just really want to see the
They
Egypt.
made it. They did some book writing. There's something in writing.
Yeah, there's comics.
Because he goes to Egypt.
Mhm.
Egypt's the transition.
Yeah, Egypt
Because
is.
he literally does so much harm in Greece. He like gets booted from that realm. It's treated as like
Yeah.
realms.
Because it's like I don't know how exactly it works, but I know he gets booted into Egypt, and then he's still
Messes with-
angry at that point. Like
Yeah.
he's not calmed out, but so he starts a rampage in Egypt as well
They kick
because
him
of
out.
them.
And by they, I mean like higher powers. Can't ask me about that. I don't know about
Yeah.
that transition. I just know he ends up there, and they kind of explain it how he has fled from his past life. He
Mhm.
settles down, meets a new woman. Her name's Faye, and
Has a kid.
yeah, but the whole start of the first game is, and this is no spoilers. It's literally the first 30 seconds. She's passed away,
Yeah,
and they're gonna go bury her, or spread her ashes on top of a mountain because she was. That's what her people did.
yeah.
And
Which
then you go through that whole journey.
and it's still going on until the end of the second game.
And then the second one still opens up a third. It opens up the chance for the third to go kind of like opening up the story for the son.
Oh, okay.
Atreus, who is also
Loki.
Loki in the Giants people, which
Yeah.
is lore accurate. Loki was a giant.
He was.
Part giant, part not.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But they keep to it. Whatever it is, they do it right. God of War Ragnarok is probably my favorite because
That's
also
fair.
just good combat. I just platinumed the game recently, and it's fresh on my
Yeah.
mind still.
I do remember hearing that you did that.
What platinum the game? I don't platinum them often. Sometimes I don't have the patience. I beat the story. I move on. Like Jedi Survivor, I looked at the platinum trophies. I'm not doing this.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't play PlayStation, so I don't have anything platinum.
You have one though.
It's Cadence, and I just hop on there.
He would gladly let you play that game. You know it.
I know, but my entire problem is if I have time to do that, I can go grind in Siege, and I can
We're
get
two
to
different
and
people.
I can get to champion in Siege.
We're two different people. Which, I guess that kind of shows your love for Siege, which is why you love the whole competitive side of Siege. Now, obviously, in esports wise, I'm a monster Call of Duty guy. But
Yeah,
I
you
really
are.
thoroughly enjoy Halo too. I'll watch Halo. But for you, that is Rainbow Six
Oh,
Siege.
Rainbow Six. Yeah.
You've tried.
Uh,
You can be honest.
I
You've experimented with trying. Let's say
I
that.
have experimented with trying to see what Rainbow Six would be like on the esports side. Um, I didn't really go too far with it because it was just kind of like, oh, that's more. Well, I was also very focused on other things whenever I was trying. So
When he was in his prime, he was distracted.
yeah, exactly. That we'll go with that. So I just kind of gave up on it.
Then you got out of your prime.
Yeah, and then I stopped playing it. I went to Valorant for a little while.
And you did mess around with that.
I played really well on Valorant.
What was it called that y'all would do?
We did Premiere. So when
That's
they
essentially what they are, is like a gateway to
yeah, because they
to
and
the
that was what
esports
they
world.
projected it as was a gateway into possibly playing for like T2, T1 teams or tier 3 teams if
Yeah.
you whatever. But yeah, I might send you photos of that later. We got to like the team that we had, we got to top 5 in our group. We didn't get to do the competition because everyone was out for the weekend that it was supposed to be, which sucked. But we went like 10-4 throughout the season, which was wild to me that we got that far.
Well, I just know you are someone, like, I'm not even joking. I still will stand by this to this day. To where if you committed, if you actually went all in, and by that I mean not just verbally to yourself and to us, like you want to try to compete in a game. And I attempted to try to force you to try this out, which takes us into this next thing. But like, you
You
are
did.
good enough at FPS games, especially M&K, that I genuinely think if you committed and you had a support base, a team, an actual roster of other guys trying to make it in the same way you are, you
Yeah.
can have success. Like, I genuinely think your gun skill is there, and because you are all about momentum, you got to have like a purpose to do it.
Yeah,
If
that
you're
is.
around guys who are grinding and like getting better at the game that you're trying to get better at too, it'll make you get better. But then
Yeah.
that was my only mistake whenever I tried to help motivate you to try this game out, that we're Overwatch 2,
Yeah, we tried
because
Overwatch.
we tried to do it with you. And that was the main thing, because I never ultimately wanted to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it for myself. I was trying to help you out. And then we invited Remy, and
Yeah.
Noah did. No matter what Noah says,
Yeah.
Noah wanted to do this.
Don't let
Or
if
at
you
least he
ever
wanted
get
to
to
consider being an esports player.
yeah, don't let anyone ever say that Noah is not a genius whenever it comes to FPS games as
Or
well.
try hard.
Or yeah, try hard.
When he flips the switch on,
Oh,
he can.
an example of that was him going 1v2ing me and Remy in Destiny.
Noah might be one of the best FPS players we've ever actually, like, personally.
He's up in my top 5. I will say that.
Like, he's one of those
Top-
guys,
maybe
like, you'll
top 3.
never get to see it, because it's not like what he wants to pursue.
Yeah.
But if Noah wanted, that's all it is.
Oh,
If Noah, he could have done it with me in Halo.
He could have done it with Halo. He could have. I think he could have done it with Overwatch. He could have done
For
it with
sure,
Destiny if he like. Destiny doesn't have a competitive scene, but he could definitely have been in the top echelon of like players for Destiny. And I mean, like me and Remy refuses to play Destiny to this day because of that
How
1v2.
bad Noah beat Remy.
Remy would round corners and he's already dead. Like it was bad. Remy
I feel like
rage quit
Noah,
that day.
and he played a little bit, which Noah's in a stage of life where he's not on as much,
Yeah,
but he's happy.
yeah.
That's
As
what
long
matters.
as he's happy, I don't.
That's what
I'm
matters.
good.
We miss him selfishly. We miss him, but he's happy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing okay. But I genuinely think, and especially in the game that has your heart, Siege, I think he could do it there too. Like, I'm not even joking.
Well, that was the entire thing. Like whenever I got back into Siege, he was there too.
He was doing it with you.
He was, and
Y'all were talking.
Noah
Once
actually
again,
flew through the ranks.
y'all kept trying to convince me to try it competitively with you, like ranked and stuff. Just
Yeah,
because I'm not great at mouse and keyboard, and I'm really good fast paced, like instincts wise.
mm-hmm.
Like in a fast paced gunfight, hardpoint Call of Duty, Slayer, Domination, Halo, I can just flow. I can have flow state. That's what they call it, and you call it in other games like that too. But I just feel like it was harder for me to stay in a flow state because I can get out of it so quick.
Yeah,
So like I could have a pop off round in a game like Counter Strike, Valorant, Rainbow, and then buy phase, all that much time could be enough to get me out of my flow.
That's
To where
fair.
like you're playing hardpoint, dude, and you just take over. You
And
take over the
you're
whole
just
game.
going because like you're respawning all the
Mhm.
time for you.
And so that was my only thing, but I did try. But I always felt it was always like similar. I felt like if y'all would have ever tried out my games and actually committed, we could have pulled it off. And me and
Yeah.
Noah really we toed in Halo.
Y'all did.
'Cause
Y'all went.
we went to
pretty-
that LAN, which I'm still saving a lot of the stories of LAN.
Yeah, I don't want to take those.
But we
from
felt
Noah.
like we left that LAN. We had a team. We left that LAN, and if they see this, no hard feelings. But like, we left that LAN thinking we're actually gonna go be a duo, and we're gonna try to compete in Halo.
Yeah.
And we were gonna go try
Y'all
to get
did.
signed to another team. Like we were gonna try to legitimately play for another team and go compete.
Yeah.
Try to professional.
Because that was like I remember getting that message on the way back that y'all were talking about still trying after.
Well, it's because like
this.
we're getting smoked. There was a couple of legitimate Halo pros playing in the tournament.
Yeah.
Pro level players playing in this local LAN we went to, and they are just steamrolling us. And it was more so teamwork. Halo is
Yeah.
all teamwork. And so we were getting destroyed teamwork wise because a couple things we worked on we did not implement into the game. So we practiced these things and it didn't play out. But me and Noah had one moment. We're in it was either oddball or Slayer, but it was on streets. I'll never forget it. We're coming up left side, and I'm picturing it right now. And we bait and switched like there was no tomorrow, and not a word was said. It was that natural teamwork, and that's what we were like. That was there against the pro player.
Oh,
This guy
okay.
finished top 15 at the next major, or his team did. And I was like, man, we did a bait and switch. I slide out, put some shots in, and I had a repulse backwards around the corner. Here comes Noah, finishes the kill. And
Bro.
in the moment, he goes, "Oh my gosh!"
I can
In the
just
land.
imagine how Noah
Oh my
says things.
gosh!
It just, oh my gosh.
But so I have
Bro,
that
man.
story with Halo. I'm not gonna pursue
Yeah.
Halo, but I get to have that joyful joking around of like, but what if? Do you think you have that with Siege?
I think if I actually like sat down and tried a whole lot more, and like the entire problem for me with Siege is I play a lot of solo. And so it's kind of you get to the higher ranks of Siege and it feels like the more you play solo, the more difficult it is to do anything because of how
Teamwork.
team-based Siege is.
Yeah.
And you have to have a basic understanding, and if people don't understand what's going on based on what you have to have situational awareness with Siege as well. And if
Yeah.
people don't have that, it doesn't
Well,
work.
that was the only thing that I think had going for me to try to help y'all. Was I just treated Siege like search and destroy.
Yeah, you really did.
So I mean, like in those moments, like my gun skill was terrible. I did not know what half the operators did, and that's kind of what hurt me with League too.
Yeah.
League reaction time, it's not my worst. I could probably every now and then keep up one, but God have mercy, I don't know what this move does. I get
just-
into a fight, I'm just spamming everything.
Bro, and League is just like, I know it does damage, or it stuns, or it makes
Yeah.
them not move.
But like I don't know any other stuff with like stats like this ability or this item or that or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But with
it either.
Siege, I had a couple like good 1v3s and tough matches ranked
Yeah.
plays, where it's just COD instincts of search and destroy. But like I just didn't have any of the skill. But you guys have those instincts. You got skill. On the podcast,
Oh gosh.
if you ever still, because I'm not joking, you still could. You know it. You know it to be true.
I could
It's
maybe.
a choice.
Yeah,
You have to want it, and
that's
that's
true.
fair too. But you need to acknowledge on this podcast, you could make a run if you wanted.
If I ever wanted to, and I dedicated more time to Siege, I think I could do it. Yeah.
Because it's not only that, you got to have 4 that are actually. There's a difference in playing ranked with all of us.
Yeah, there
And
is
a couple
that.
that we have that are good.
And I'll say that, but at the end of the day, like there's tons of like basics of Siege that I still have to like implement because
But
Yeah,
there's a difference there when you know it and you choose not to do it because it's not relevant when you don't have other people that can do it with.
I mean, yeah, it's a long way to go, but I still think I could do it. Yes,
Yeah. Well, maybe someday you'll do it.
we'll see. I'll try.
We had a dream of being esports players together,
We did,
and then it turned into content. Content's still going.
content is still going.
I mean, I got into streaming first, and then you
Yeah, I was like right after you
right after me.
because it was maybe like a month after you did, and then I'm still going
I'm
with
still
it.
going.
You're still going and just in a different path.
I got to do more podcasting. Streaming's just hard with my work schedule.
Yeah, which is
I
fair.
still love streaming. I love doing YouTube videos, but I just don't have the editing capabilities to like do it efficiently. So like, I can
Yeah.
sit there and edit a video only probably 80% of what I would like, but it takes me 3 hours to do it. To do it even remotely as detailed as I want. Streaming's fun, but if you don't stream A consistently or B for more than 2 hours at a time,
Yeah, it doesn't
it's just
matter.
all for nothing. Like, and you got to
Pretty
stick to your
much.
algorithm, of course. And that's what hurt me too, is because, bro, sometimes we'd be playing. You've done better though at that, of like
Yeah, I mean,
streaming consistent flow.
that's the well, it's like Siege is kind of my game, even though like I might have off days or cheaters, all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
still just like Siege is a basic thing I'm gonna run to if I'm gonna stream now.
That's,
And then horror games if like
yeah,
next Thursday, well,
for
Halloween planning on something.
Yeah, we
but
talked about playing that. But it's just the idea of like whenever I'm trying to play, I just couldn't handle that pressure right now streaming because we still had so much fun playing so many other different games.
yeah,
Because I wanted to stream Call of Duty. So I'm streaming Devour with our friends, and for like just in my numbers at the time, I'm getting like 24 concurrent viewers,
yeah, you would,
25 concurrent viewers, and I'm like, this is awesome. Then I switched to Call of Duty, drops down to 5, and it was just
yeah,
us supporting each other. So it's like I just couldn't handle that at the moment because I wanted to play so many different games. And so I was like, well, I can make YouTube about Call of Duty League and then just play all the games I want. But then you put so much work into it to where essentially that you have to find like in content the thing you like, and then your content base has to be that.
yeah,
But you also have to be able to have that balance. And I just I couldn't balance streaming with my play balance to where I would try to overlap them too much. Then the algorithm's like, what the heck are you playing? Like, what am I supposed to promote you to?
yeah, exactly.
Would never help the algorithm. And then YouTube, I just got burned down editing straight up. It was just like, and also I got burned down on the content I started to make. It was fun, but it burned out fast because it was
It's
the breaking
seasonal.
news COD. We're in the off season, and if I don't report roster mania rumors, which is so ever changing,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they just announced a lot of the new rosters, right, for the new season. Some of these rosters changed like 12 times before they're official. It's what you do. You try them out.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so it's like either A, report about all that all the time, which it's not going to still be beneficial content-wise if I'm not doing it fast in the moment. Like I can't drop that video on Thursday when that news came out Tuesday night.
Yeah, exactly. It's just super inconvenient. And then by that time on Thursday,
Yeah.
probably 300 people have already talked about it too.
And so it's just content's hard. It's a lot harder than
It's-
people think.
It's harder than people think just because of the fact that we see everyone who is huge now. It's like, oh yeah, they just did one thing and it magically worked.
They just play a video game and they're that famous.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
They sold their soul.
Look, okay,
In a way, they sold a part of their.
Jinxie isn't as big as he used to be.
Yeah.
Like he had his whole stint, but before he got big, he streamed to one viewer for a year,
Yeah.
and then one thing just hit and he just skyrocketed.
The thing that I've always said, and this is honestly, this could be the theme of our second podcast together because we have been studying content, trying to pursue it, and we talk a lot about
Okay, do
content
it.
behind the scenes. Could be great to have an episode about that.
I'd be down for that.
But to be at the Jinxie level, Ninja, Nick Merckx, Markiplier in the YouTube world, PewDiePie, hard work is there,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll all admit, if they're honest, it is just that ounce of luck. Like the world
There-
sees you.
There is
That one clip
always
goes viral. This
Yeah.
video was funny. Like Markiplier was getting big, but Five Nights at Freddy's sent him to the moon.
Yeah, it did. And the entire this is me going back to my manga and anime love.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I watch is Blue Lock, and there's one of the characters in it discusses like what luck kind of is. Y'all take what you want with it. Luck only comes to those who are actually willing to pursue it. Is the entire thing.
That's
Is kind of a way that
Good
he
word.
kind of worded it, which you can take it how you want to. Maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you do. I kind of like the way they look at it because it's like
yeah.
if you're just gonna let it fall, there's no point. Like luck didn't actually. There's nothing
you.
there.
Yeah.
So
It could happen to more people than they think. But
Yeah.
You really got to believe it.
you
gotta
got to actually be
believe and pursue it.
pursuing and trying, and luck can happen.
And that's
in
why
that
we
way.
keep doing it.
Exactly.
Eventually, luck's going to catch us.
We like to think it. And if
And if
it
not, it's
doesn't,
fun.
it's whatever.
We're
We just
having
got to do
fun.
what we got to love.
Yeah,
So,
it's fun doing all this stuff. But content's fun, but
yep,
it's hard work. But it's fun when you got your bros doing it.
bro. It's a lot of fun. I get to enjoy a lot of stupid stuff. I've gotten to meet a lot of people that I never thought
Yeah.
I get to meet through streaming, and through video games. Okay, this is one thing I will talk about. So
Yeah, this is relevant.
this is very relevant. This happened yesterday. So my brother met this group of guys through playing Tarkov. For those that don't know what Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, very realistic combat shooter, and met these guys probably like he was in high school. That's probably like 5 to 7 years ago now. We've never met them. They live in California, and one of them actually drove through here yesterday, and so me and Caden got to meet him for the first time in our lives. And like he's been playing Siege with me recently, all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, he had migrated slowly from playing with just your brother
yeah,
to
to playing with all of us now.
he's a regular in the Discord.
Yeah, he is now. But that is, we can take this however you want to, but like gaming is something that I think always brings people together in a way that you never expect it to.
That's true.
So like esports, for example, is a way of looking at it, I guess. There is thousands of people that watch that and get to talk about that every day. So you get to meet people through those experiences you never thought you get to meet.
That's true. And it's definitely we're able to see this again now, which is helpful for us because we live in the same town. But gaming really took it. I always loved it because of the storytelling at first. You know, like getting to experience a story, an interactive book. You could argue,
Yeah,
an interactive
exactly.
movie. But then, when I was younger, I lived. Let's see, where was I at before this? I had got an Xbox 360, and I moved away to Colorado. All of my friends that I didn't get to communicate with, I moved to Colorado, and everywhere I've moved, I was pretty good at making friends quick. And I made friends there, but I didn't have really any friends that I like connected with.
Yeah.
All those were back home in Alabama. Well, I got an Xbox. I'm kind of learning that I can play games with them and be this far away. And that was like my escape. It was like I don't have my friends anymore, and I was able to play games. Well, then I moved back to Alabama. I'm with them. We're playing every day after school. We went to different schools. Then I moved to Arkansas. I played with the same group of guys, family members even, like cousins and stuff, like all the way through high school. Unforgettable memories. And I lived 7 hours away from them. We talked every day. We go to college. We did drift a little bit in college. I still talk to a couple of them every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephen, Gabe, shout out to you guys. But and Lou too, but we talk all the time. Now our friend group comes around.
Exactly.
Remy's living 2 hours away.
Remy's 2 hours away. Noah is
A long ways away.
like 4 or 5 hours away.
Tristan's 30 minutes, and we are in the same town, but work.
We
live on the opposite side of town too.
Yeah, it's like 15-20 minutes for me to get here if traffic's terrible like it was today.
Gaming's been our thing. It
Yeah.
kept us through COVID. We talked all the time in COVID. That's when our Discord was born.
Yeah, the first rendition of our Discord.
That's a story we're not sharing.
No, yeah, that's a...
But we all talked. Gaming's always, in your sense of uniting a large group of people together. That's awesome. It's also kept a close-knit group together even tighter.
Yeah, then I think that's why I love gaming as much as it is because, like you said, we'll get to meet people we never expect to meet, and then I'll get to make friendships with those people that will probably last me a lifetime, and I may never get to meet them. And that's the coolest. Like, it's sad when you kind of think about it in some regards, but it's also one of the coolest things that we get to experience meeting new people in that regard.
Yeah. When I met those, and you are primed to set yourself up, if you can, for some people in the Six Invitational.
Yes, that is one
Boston?
thing. Yep, Boston in February.
You got to be like people that you know, like, hey, make this happen. I did with COD. I went to COD Champs, and people who I'd been friends with, I mean, like a couple years. I was like, let's meet up at Champs. Lance, Nick, these are two people I'm specifically thinking about. Jay. I was like, we're going to meet up at Champs. We met up at Champs, and it was awesome. And now, I mean, we're still like we all kind of still do our own thing, but like I'd consider bros in a way towards like they ask me for something, I'm down to like talk to them about it or do something with them. And there's already talks behind the scenes of next year's COD events.
And
And it's just something like we can always unite through that gaming. And so it's been super cool, super awesome.
Yeah, which we have that, and then I don't know. I think you got invited to go into the CS:GO thing in Arlington. That's in June next year.
CSGO.
You didn't know about that?
I did not get invited to CSGO in Arlington.
Pretty sure you did, but you probably forgot. Yeah, so like our entire friend group is planning on going to Arlington for the CS:GO major that's going to be there.
I probably missed it. And if not, awkward. But I it's in Arlington.
Arlington, Texas.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like the top teams.
Like I think it's one of the biggest CS:GO things of the year, from what I understood.
FaZe CSGO is awesome.
Bro, every CS:GO is awesome.
That's true. They show up for CS like no other.
It's just like League.
Yeah. Not as popular in A, but popular worldwide.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, man, we've had some pretty good gaming discussions.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Esports, college.
I think college was like predominant part of this, but hey, that's okay.
This is one of my best bros. Had to bring him on here. I knew that the college years like talk and stuff was going to dominate a lot of the podcast, but like
I feel like it has to be said to explain the relationship that we have now
yeah.
for gaming eventually.
And a lot of people that watch my stuff, if they've watched like my streams, they know who you are.
Yeah, they know of me.
Some of them may have never seen your face.
That's
they know
true.
of Ritz's.
They do know of Ritz's.
The hooded streamer. He's got the hood on today.
Yep.
To those people who've been watching me and watching my podcast, and to other people that may find this podcast, you got any final remarks? Anything you want them to know as we're nearing the end of this podcast?
Well, I mean, I guess if y'all ever get the chance, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then some days on the weekend, just whatever I want to do. You'll probably see me streaming. Just go check out Ritz's on Twitch. Other than that, if I don't see you on there, I hope I see you on Siege and I kick your butt.
That's true.
Hey, give me my rank points. That's all I care about.
That's true. Right here on the screen, you'll be able to see a picture of Ethan's Twitch channel, and there will be a link in the description below to go and follow. Give him that Amazon Prime. He loves them Amazon Prime.
Oh, man.
Loves them a good Prime. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. We talked friendship. We talked gaming, funny stories, and how it united us together. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe for more episodes. This podcast has so many awesome people lined up to be on, and we're very excited for the future. So make sure you guys are turning on notifications, subscribing, and staying tuned for that. Thank you guys. Hope you have a great few weeks. We'll see you back in the next episode. Peace out.